My speech today is about the death penalty. I personally am on the fence about this issue, but for this speech, I'm going to take the anti-death penalty side. I'm going to explain all of the different reasons why the death penalty is not a great idea or punishment. Looking at the numbers, there are many people that have been wrongly convicted of something deserving of the death penalty, or they have been wrongly murdered for a crime that they did not commit or did not deserve the death penalty per se. Since the reinstatement of the death penalty in 1976, there have been 138 men and women who were released from death row. This includes some of who came within minutes of execution. We also pay millions for the death penalty system. In 1995, trials for 3 Washington County murder cases cost more than $1.5 million. One was sentenced to death, and the 2 others, one of whom was found guilty of 4 murders, are not on death row and were not killed. One of the most frequent causes of reversals in death penalty cases is the ineffective assistance of counsel. A study done by Columbia University found that 68% of all death penalty cases were reversed on appeal, with inadequate defense as one of the main reasons requiring reversal. Scientific studies have consistently failed to demonstrate that executions deter people from committing a crime. Around the country, states without the death penalty have a lower murder rate than neighboring states with the death penalty. The families of murder victims also undergo severe trauma and loss, which no one should have to go through. However, executions do not help these people heal, nor does it end their pain. The death penalty is also randomly applied. Of 15 to 17,000 homicides committed each year in the United States, about 120 people are sentenced to death, and that is less than 1% of the murders. According to Amnesty International and the National Association of Mental Illness, 1 out of every 10 people executed in the United States in 1977 is mentally ill. Mentally ill defendants are sometimes unable to participate in their trials in a meaningful way and also appear unengaged, cold, or unfeeling to the jury. If you look at it, if you look at one case for 2 people, one is mentally ill and one is not. They could have committed the same crime, but the mentally ill person get more of a punishment per se than the other one, because the other person could communicate better and look more engaged into what the trial is going on than the mentally ill person could do. And this could make the jury feel more warming and not so cold towards that person. When you think about the death penalty, people think that there are times where it's not as humane, and there are 5 ways that the death penalty occurs. There can be lethal injection, lethal injection, electric chair, firing squad, they can be hanged, or there's a gas chamber. Not all states regulate the death penalty, and in doing this, the ones that do, the number 1 cause is the lethal injection. The ones that regulate the electric chair also regulate lethal injection before they do the electric chair. And then so on and so forth down the road, lethal injection is normally first in all of these states. When you look at it, people think it's not as humane because recently there have been, with the lethal injections, there's 2 parts to the lethal injection. First injection puts you into a coma, and then the second injection puts them and actually stops their heart and everything. And recently there have been ones where the first injection didn't completely put the person to sleep, and so they were awake somewhat for the second injection, which stopped their heart, and they died. There are people that talk about bringing the guillotine back, which isn't a bad idea, which would help be more humane because it's quicker. When you think about it, would you choose to be the person that takes the switch, flips it, and snuffs out a human life. Thank you.